Uncover the hidden world of political campaigns in just 5 minutes. Join me, your host, David Washington, on Countertop Politics every Monday for exclusive campaign insights, tantalizing innuendo, and the secret sauce behind successful political campaigns. Don't miss out. Let's go. Hey everyone, it's Monday morning, and this is Countertop Politics, your source for campaign insight, political innuendo, and of course, the secret sauce to winning strategies. So, I've worked a lot in politics, 35 odd years in and out of politics, and I've seen moments in a particular campaign where there was this pivot. It changed the direction of the campaign. And many of times, this pivot changed the course of whether a campaign was on its way to victory or on its way to losing. And there was a moment in the campaign I was working on years ago when I was first starting out in politics. I was in my late teens, early 20s. And it was a campaign that helped me understand that regardless of what was going on, at the end of the day, it was the kitchen table issues that mattered the most. And in this particular campaign, the candidate that I worked for was out campaigning, knocking on doors, going where their votes were at the front doors at that time. We didn't have social media. Mailers were, in fact, used, but it was expensive. But going door to door was the key. And we were stopped by a constituent as we were leaving one home. We had knocked on their door previously. We left the literature in their door, and they came and followed us down the street. And they stopped us. And they said, why did you leave this at my door? And so me and the candidate, we kind of looked at each other. It's like, well, we're campaigning. This is the candidate. He explained who he is and what he was campaigning for. And the gentleman, the neighbor, said, well, I've had my heart already set, my vote set for your opponent because of the fact that you are here right now and that I had to chase you down the street because you're doing what, to be honest, this particular opponent that you're facing, the incumbent, who's been the entrenched incumbent for so many years, has not been to his door since the first time over 10 years ago that the incumbent had ran as a new candidate, new to politics. And the neighbor, the constituent, felt forgotten. And he said to my candidate, I hope you don't forget us if you do win. I still am going to vote for your opponent. However, I hope that if you do win, that you continue to do this, that you continue to talk to us, that you continue to meet us where we are, right here in our neighborhoods. And that at that moment, because it was relatively midway through the campaign, we took that to heart. Having that conversation made us think. We came back to the team and made us think maybe we should put more effort into the door-to-door canvassing, the door-to-door knocking, meeting constituents where they're at their front doors. And back then, 30 years ago, more people were likely to be at home, in their front yards, in their driveways, in their communities than they are right now in front of their TVs, their devices, or off somewhere at work or, doing things with the family. But in these communities on the south side of Chicago, it was more likely than none that people were at home. And so at that moment, we decided, let's put more effort into our ground game. We doubled the size of our ground game. And guess what? Guess what? It paid off. It worked. We won. It was phenomenal. It was one conversation, a pivotal moment in the campaign that made us pause and think that, wait a second, this constituent has something worth saying. They chased us down the street and said to us, they appreciate the fact that we were here and that we stay consistent. Regardless of what happens, continue to meet constituents where they're at. And don't forget. So, closing, I just want to say that we've seen one, in my opinion, one of the greatest pivots in campaign history, U.S. presidential campaign history, and that was the President of the United States, Joe Biden, decided to drop out of the 2024 presidential race, and Vice President Kamala Harris, with her running mate, Governor Tim Walz, becoming the presumptive Democratic presidential and vice presidential nominees. Everything coming together, and I said this in the episode of the David Washington show. It's kind of suspect, but I'm not getting into it. But everything just kind of came together at the right time, with the right people involved, with the right resources. And at the time of this writing, August 12th, 2024, we're seeing the Harris Walz campaign enjoy a very extended honeymoon period. On the other side of that pivot, we have the Trump Vance campaign, and they seem to have fumbled the ball for the last 3 weeks. However, you play the long game. Don't count out Team Trump Vance. It's still a close race. You know who your candidates are. There's still a lot of time on the clock. Everyone, please do your research. Understand what matters to you. What are your kitchen table issues? And when you look at your own kitchen table issues and you research and you analyze what these particular campaigns bring to you to make your life that much more easier, then it shouldn't be difficult learning who you should vote for in November 2024. And that includes up and down the ballot. You got to understand who these people are. I had a great conversation with a tennis partner of mine about who she voted for early. She did her research. I encourage you to do the same. This is Countertop Politics. I'm David Washington. I really appreciate everything that you all do as members of our community, Ubuntu. We are J.M. Washington, and please like, share, hit the notification button, all that stuff, but more importantly, comment. It's important to me. I really want to know what this all means to you and what we can talk about. I've got a list of topics for, the David Washington Show. You Can Make This Shit Up, our flagship podcast. And of course, Countertop Politics every Monday, 5 minutes or so of the good stuff, especially the secret sauce. So please comment, let us know what you think. As always, bring your facts, not your feelings. I'm David Washington, and this is the David Washington Show. Gotcha. Countertop Politics. But please check out the David Washington Show. I've been getting a lot of comments there. You enjoy it. We'll see you the next time. Take care.